ShartimusPrime. Reading comics, toys are hella sick, hella whacking it, taking bad hits, taking bad shit. Subscribe. Brothers! Oh, group hug! Hey, what's up you guys? ShartimusPrime here, doing another Marvel Legends action figure review on the Spider Build-A-Figure Waves Doc Ock. If you're trying to pick up the set, you can do so right now.
Big! Get your big badass toys at BigBadToyStore.com. Click the link in the description below.
Finally, we're getting a Doc Ock figure from Hasbro. I am very curious about this one. On the side, we get a nice image of Doc Ock, and then on the very back, you can see a nice product shot over there. There's your read-up over here. If you want to read it, go ahead and pause it now. And then there's the other figures from the wave. We get Doc Ock again right there, and then we get a spider logo at the top, and not much more at the bottom. So let's get to it and crack this thing open. And here's Doc Ock out of the packaging, not looking too shabby at all. I really like this body mold a lot. I really actually like this figure in its entirety. I've gotten myself lost in the action figure abyss, just taking photos over and over again, and I'm very surprised with that because I didn't think I was going to have that much fun posing this figure around without having bendy wires in those tentacles. So the figure has actually surprised me. I'm pretty stoked about that. It's a very good looking figure as well. The Doc Ock body mold itself looks pretty awesome, and we get a good looking head sculpt over here. So let's get a closer look at that. Doc Ock is my favorite Spider-Man villain, and I have to just get into the history briefly. A radiation leak, an explosion caused his arms to actually meld onto his body and gave him telepathic abilities. He initially used the arms for his experiments, and they're radiation proof, so it protected him, and yeah, so that's how we have Doc Ock. But even before the accident, he was kind of antisocial, kind of a bit of a dick already, and one reason why I really like this character a lot is that I feel he is the first Spider-Man villain to actually go after Spider-Man. Before, it was just Spider-Man, you know, stopping criminals from doing bad things, but this guy actually went after Spidey personally, and I was first introduced to the character as a kid when he was trying to get with Aunt May. That was a trip. That I thought was an especially villainous thing to do. And then I even liked the more recent comics, you know, when his body was all degenerated from years of getting his butt kicked by Spidey. Side note, he doesn't have superhuman invulnerability or durability, so all those punches to the face from a superhero, yeah, they wore down his body. On top of that with the illness, so the whole Superior Spider-Man storyline, I liked that as well. I really like the character a lot, and I think this is a great head sculpt. I absolutely love it. I love how his teeth are showing right there. The gums at the bottom look a little bit weird, but for the most part, it's a really good looking head sculpt. A little bit of a shimmer to the plastic for his glasses. I really like how that bowl haircut came out. Nice brown paint right there. I think it's really well done. I'm very pleased with that. And then you can even see his eyes underneath right there, which is pretty cool. And then comparing it to the Toy Biz version, you can see this Toy Biz version is much smaller. I like the facial expression on this one a little bit more. On this one you can see the eyes underneath too. So yeah, that's, you know, kind of not a big deal. But hey, what the heck's up with the Toad customs, huh? Customizers? I'm not seeing any Toad customs yet. And I'm honestly willing to bet money that Hasbro is going to use this body mold for a brand new Toad. I mean, come on, this is just asking for it, right? I mean, look at that. But as a Doc Ock, it is fantastic. I really like it. You know, I like these seams and everything. Nice wrinkles right there. At first I thought the head would sit too high on the neck, but I'm not bothered by that. No paint variation throughout or anything, but we get some nice seams and wrinkles throughout that kind of change things up a little bit. Nice wrinkles on the arms. Kind of has this hand so he can hold something, you know, if he'd like. And on this side you just get a fist. Nice wrinkles right over here, and then I'm gonna, you know, get into the tendrils a little bit more in a minute. And then we get the Doc Ock butt, and then we get the little serial numbers and all that. Big old thick legs right here. It's gonna be awesome for a Toad figure. I mean, we really need a Toad figure. So I know it's a Doc Ock review, but I really want that Toad, man. Anyway, looking at the feet right here, they look pretty good too. Nice wrinkles, nice yellow color and everything. So I really like this body mold a lot. And to get a close look at how these tendrils or these tentacles came out, they look really good. You know, I really like the silver paint that we're seeing. There's kind of a bluish hue to this silver color, and I like that. And I like how they're sculpted. They all have this kind of riveted pattern going on right here. So that's pretty neat. And you can see the peg that plugs into the back of the figure. And then the claws themselves, they're not, you know, necessarily the original little short stubby ones, which I don't prefer. I prefer these right here, but I hate being teased and not getting any articulation with these claws. So that would have been nice if they could, you know, clamp down. I do like the touch of blue paint right there. You do get a ball joint so you can rotate them and, you know, wiggle them forward and around just a little bit. I wish they had given us a cut right in the middle like how they'd done with the Marvel Universe. So even having that would have been pretty nice. And you can see that we get two different sets, which leads me on to thinking that I want to have two of these Doc Ock figures because I do find it a bit limiting sometimes. You can see that we get two short ones right here and they have the same shape, and then we get these two longer ones right here. So yeah, it's cool to get different kinds, but like what if I wanted something where I wanted 4 of these, right? So I can't do that. So I'm looking to get a second Doc Ock to double up on the tendrils. And to show how you can port them in, it's very easy to do. You just plug it right into the back like that. And you can plug them, you know, you don't have to plug it down here. You could, you know, plug whichever tendril that you want or any tentacle that you want into any port. And you can see as I'm porting them in right here, you kind of get like this fixed pose, you know, so you can move things around. You could, you know, move this underneath going that way. You could do whatever you'd like. I learned from watching Craig work that you could actually take the Toy Biz tentacles and plug them right into the very back right here, and I think that is absolutely fantastic. I love that Hasbro made it possible for them to do that. I don't know if that was intentional or if this is just a serendipitous thing right here for us collectors, but you know, I think that's pretty damn cool that we can get actual bendy wire tentacles on this figure. I mean, that looks awesome. I mean, it just makes it a whole lot easier to play around with the figure and pose it. You know, that's the whole point of these action figures is, you know, getting all the poses that you want. So I think that's great that we can do that. There's also a mod where you could use like this lamp rod that's bendable and you could plug that in, and I've seen people modify their Doc Ock like that too. I don't think I'm going to go that far with it. I don't even think I'm going to go so far to swap out the tentacles. I don't know. I like how these look. I actually like this brighter color right here. These older ones still work with this newer figure, I think, but I don't know. I was actually able to get a lot more poses and photos taken with these right here than I actually thought I was going to be able to, so I'm not as upset with them as I thought I was going to be. You know, I may have to take back what I said about swapping the tentacles right over here for my display shelf. I don't know yet. I may still actually swap these out, or I may keep them like this. I don't know. We'll see in the future. But anyway, as far as articulation goes, you get the ball joint at the end right here for each claw, and you can rotate at the base of each tentacle, and that's it for the tentacle articulation. As far as the head sculpt goes, or the head movement goes, you can make him look upward quite a bit, which is great, so I like that, and you can get him looking downward that far. You also get side-to-side movement and a little bit of head wobblage. Shoulders move outward that far, they move down. You could rotate 360, you get a bicep swivel, double jointed elbows, and then you don't get any forearm rotation, but both hands can churn side to side at the wrist, and they both hinge up and down. You get a diaphragm joint that churns side to side right here. One thing that's kind of neat is that the tentacles are split up right here on the back, so you know these are going to move independently from the bottom set, so you can see that happening right there. You also get some really good pivoting at the diaphragm, and he'll crunch forward that much and back that much. It kind of runs into the other tentacles, so you kind of have to, yeah, it's just going to be a little bit limited, but it still moves back, so that's not too bad. The hips can move outward very far, which is great, and then he can kick forward that much and not back, and these are just falling off. And then you get an upper thigh cut right there, double jointed knees, boot rotation, ankles move down, ankles don't move up so much, and he does have ankle pivot. Let's see if I can get this ankle to move up. That's important for like walking poses and stuff, so it does move up just a tad. Now measuring out this Doc Ock figure, you can see that to the top of his head, he's standing at 6 inches tall, and I guess the tentacles can go up to about 10 inches or so. And then for your Doc Ock comparison, you can see the Hasbro Doc Ock next to one of the Toy Biz Doc Ock figures. We actually received quite a number of Doc Ocks from Toy Biz, but this is the only one that I ever really wanted. I remember the box set one looks pretty good too. It looks very OG Doc Ock, but yeah, this is always my favorite. And then here's our new Doc Ock figure next to the Spider-Man 2 Doc Ock with Alfred Molina right over here, and I really like this figure still. To this day, it still holds up. I saw online that there are rumors or people speculating that Mark Hamill could possibly play a Doc Ock. I would love to see Mark Hamill play Doc Ock. I think he would nail it, especially the way he talks and, you know, all the insults and everything like that. That would be great, you dolts. And then here's our new Marvel Legends Doc Ock next to Hasbro's 3 3/4 inch Marvel Universe Doc Ock figure. And you can see that the tentacles aren't as long as I had hoped they would have been for this particular figure right here, but we do get a swivel swivel right in the middle of each tentacle, and that really does help with articulation a lot, and they look, you know, fairly seamless, right? I think that looks pretty good. So I really wish that we had gotten a cut right in the middle of the tentacles. That would have really gone a long way. Unfortunately, this 3 3/4 inch figure cannot stand for crap. Oh, wait, never mind. There it goes. And then here's the new Doc Ock figure next to the Toy Biz Marvel Superheroes Dr. Octopus with suction cup and grasping tentacles. And this is my first Doc Ock figure, and this is actually what made me fall in love with this villain. I really, really liked this toy a lot when I was a kid. I had a lot of fun with it, and guess what? It has bendy wires in there. I can't remember the name of the person that sent this to me. Thank you very much. I need to start putting post-its on the stuff you guys send out to me because I feel like a total jerk for not remembering names. But anyway, yeah, it's a shame that this old figure from way back when I was a very young kid actually had bendy wires, and this brand new one, while I'm in my 30s, does not. And then here's Doc Ock next to the Marvel Legends Pizza Spidey figure, and I like the size difference between these two. They look really good. And then here's Doc Ock next to the rest of the Sinister Six that we have from Hasbro. You can see the Sandman, Build-A-Figure, Electro, Kraven, Mysterio, and Vulture, and that Vulture doesn't count. I really don't think this should count as a Tombs Vulture, so I'm just gonna get him out of here. But yeah, the rest of these, all awesome Sinister Six figures. Even this newer version of Electro, I still like that. So it's cool to see Doc Ock with the rest of these. And then here's Doc Ock next to all the other figures from the wave. We have Scarlet Spider, Elektra, Daredevil, Cloak, Dagger, and House of M Spidey. And then here's Doc Ock next to the Marvel Legends Big Time Letdown Spider-Man. Oh, jeez, ugh. Ever since you borrowed this body, I've had this weird rash. I don't know where you went with this body or who you went with this body, but this is not right. Ugh. Hey, you got all those arms over there. Can you give me a hand? Oh, that's actually better. Thanks. So I'd like to thank you guys once again for watching my video. I really appreciate it when you guys watch the videos all the way through. I know I say that a lot, but it really does help this YouTube channel with the whole YouTube algorithm and everything and watch time. It also helps when you guys hit that like button if you like the video, and please leave a comment down below letting me know what you think of this figure and let me know what you think of my review, as well as hitting that subscribe button and that notification bell. I like this figure. I'm a huge Doc Ock fan, so I knew I was gonna still like it. I'm actually happier with the tentacles than I thought I was going to be, but I gotta be honest, every now and then I get that frustration all over again. For instance, doing that stop motion segment, that wasn't easy to do. I ended up using a tendril or a tentacle that I didn't originally plan on using because the one I thought I could use wouldn't reach over there, and the fact that we just don't get bendy wires on these tentacles, I don't understand it, man. I just don't see why we can't have that. I guess it breaks the bank. I just don't understand why. It would have helped so much with this figure, so I really miss that. At least having cuts in the middle of the tendrils would have been really cool to have too, right? I don't know. So yeah, there's a bit of frustration with those tentacles, but they're not as bad as I thought they were going to be. So I'm giving this a Sud rating of...
It's not too bad.
And even with that rating, this still might be my favorite figure from the wave just because I love Doc Ock. But yeah, there's a little bit of disappointment with this guy, but I'm still very impressed. I have mixed feelings, man. There's a lot of emotions going on with these action figures, you know. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Leave a comment down below. And if you want to see a photo gallery of images, it's over at marvelousnews.com and ShartimusPrime.net. And don't forget to follow me on the Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and Twitch. Links to everything in the description below, and I should have a pretty epic unboxing video going up either today or tomorrow, so stay tuned for that, and I'll catch you guys later. Peace!
Crispy.
Hey, new ShartimusPrime videos. Hey, you should click one. Yeah, click on one of them. Or subscribe if you haven't. Yeah.